Alrighty, Enzo. So I apologize for the late video. I know that probably was expecting the video a little bit sooner, but things happen in life, and sometimes applications decide not to work. But thankfully, I found an app that does work. So right here, have both of your mechanics. The top one is the first throw you did in your lesson, and the bottom one is the last throw you did in your lesson. I'm going to play it real quick, and then I'm kind of going to go over both of them and then what we did to work with that. So here are both of them at the same time. You can pause, do both of them, look at one of them, whatever you want to do. Here they are. All right, so let me try to get these all situated here. So the big thing that we did in our lesson, the big thing that you and Sal do really, really well is this part right here. And I just want you to watch on both of these here. Just watch on both. Look at that. Center of gravity there, center of gravity here. Look at that. That is what you call textbook right there. So first of all, Sal, I got it. Or why am I calling you Sal? I'm so sorry. Enzo, you do a really great job. Also, well, both you and Sal do a really, really great job. I think that's why I said Sal. But y'all both do an extremely great job at keeping this head centered and keeping your center of mass between your feet, which is really, really important as a pitcher. So you do really well there. Now, if you'll notice, and this is also for parents too, if you notice there's a difference, the big difference is this right here. That little bag there. Now, you probably are wondering, why is that bag there in the second one but not the first one? The biggest thing that me and Enzo worked on is trying to get ourselves from, instead of falling off the mound, to take all of our momentum that we built up towards home plate. So, this is where the difference is between these two, okay? The biggest thing, now this is completely fine, honestly. Now, realistically speaking, the phrase is true what I talked about in both of their lessons, and the question I posed to both of them, wherever the head goes is where our body and our momentum goes. So if my head's going this way, all my momentum's going to be going that way. However, there's a caveat to that, which is honestly fine. The reason I'm fine for this is, think about the arm path here, right? Look at the arm path that is created by doing that. We get that head out of the way there. Our arm is going to be able to have a free-flowing arm path right there. Now, here's the catch-22 to that. The problem is we still have to keep our momentum going towards home plate, which, as you see, the difference in this one is, where's our momentum going that way, versus this one, it's going a little more towards home plate. So look at here versus here. Look at the difference. Now, it probably doesn't look like much. Look at the amount of back you can see here and the amount of back you can see here. And this is fairly a similar camera angle. So what this is telling me is really two things. The first thing is, in this one, my momentum's going, or Enzo's momentum is going that way, versus this one, it's still going towards home plate. Now, one thing both of these boys do really, really well is finishing down. Now, actually, now that I'm looking at this, there's something, and this is the cool thing about being a pitching coach, is that you get to look at it also from the perspective of, okay, now I am looking out from the outside looking in, and something that I could see on the video. One thing that I did not see in the lesson that now I see on the video is, look at where we land. Now, this is where we're going to land right here, right? Look at that. Actually, it's really actually about right here. Take that back. Realistically, the thing I'm actually going to work on with Enzo next time, and now seeing this is actually extremely good, because we also kind of we talked about this, and I think on both of their journals, it talks about working down towards the mound. I think, honestly, we can take this to about right there. Honestly, I really do. And the reason is because of how tall their legs are. I mean, I wish I had, actually, do I have a, I don't, unfortunately. I don't have a measuring tool in this application, but if I were to measure, he's got such a lengthy body, which is perfect. Both boys have perfect bodies for pitching. That's something that is really, really great about them. And this is going to really, really help them in the long run, especially with Enzo being younger. He's got a lot of potential. And so does Sal. I mean, Sal, for his age, he is very, very experienced on the mound. But Enzo has a very, very high ceiling when it comes to, well, actually, both boys do, but especially Enzo, because of how young he is and how lengthy his body is. And I really do think we can get so much more out of Enzo. And the reason, well, two things really. Number one, we bring this extension out to about right here, let's say, because we're there. We get that extension to there. That's going to be able to bring us more downhill to our throwing part. Our throwing arm's going to be down here instead. It's going to bring more of a downhill angle. But also the fact is he can get more by, like we did in the second video, going more towards home plate. So this is why I don't have a problem, honestly, with his arm and his shoulders going like that, because it's creating this throwing path here for his arm. Now, the two things, of course, that are going to help him with velocity, actually three things technically, weightlifting, getting more down the mound, and obviously keeping his momentum towards home plate. So we've already checked off one of the things, and I know both of them say they weightlift, which is really, really great too, because it's a very, very crucial thing. The next part is honestly going to be getting into the leg, which we'll talk about next time. You got to think about it like as a chair. So I'm going to draw kind of a really bad representation of a chair here. I apologize. Not the greatest chair, but you get the point. Essentially, we are trying to sit in this chair. We kind of start sitting it, and then we ride it out. So we really want to get into our legs here. That's something we're also going to be working on. So also by getting into our legs here, what is that also going to help on the contrary? We get more into the legs. Sorry, that's the wrong video. We get more into the legs, that we're more into it. We're taking our butts towards home plate. So we take this, bring that towards home plate. What in the contrary is that going to do? Or really in contrast, it's going to bring us more out front, and it's going to get our landing spot to about, I'd say, right yonder. So that's kind of going to be the big thing we're going to be working on next lesson. Just a heads up, for right now, next week is going to be the last week. I'll at least be here for another week. The following week after this week, I will be in Canada or wherever I go. It still really all depends on if someone gets a passport or not. Not me, but someone in my girlfriend's family. But after that, I will be here till the 20-something. And we could do lessons for that and get them both ready for the fall. Especially for Sal when he goes into the fall workouts for his high school. But overall, Enzo, great job. Looking very, very great, and especially he's got really great arm action. And, of course, next time we're going to be working on getting more towards down the mound and keeping our momentum towards home plate.